Hello guys, and welcome to another video of mine. Today we're gonna be learning on how to make better shirts. So, if you're new to this channel, we create shirts and art, and if you're a loyal fan, this is the better version of what we have done. So, yeah, enjoy. So yeah, if you watch my videos, then you probably know that I create shirts and pants. So merch on Roblox. Um, and yeah, for example, let's look at the how to make a shirt on iPad, like a Roblox shirt on iPad tutorial. Now here I just talked about the basics on how to make it on even a mobile device, and yeah, it looks kind of cute because of the hippo. It looks pretty okay-ish, but let's be honest, come on. If you see this in a store, if you see this in the catalog, you're not gonna buy it. It's just a basic shirt, but maybe like if you aren't the super designer enthusiastic boy or girl, so if you're not like the super designer that always likes the best shirts, then yeah, it's gonna be good. If you aim like at 20 Robux, say in salary, then yeah, that's gonna be good. But come on, we can make better things, and that's what this video is for. So, what you need is a better understanding of design concepts, that's A, and B, you also need better techniques. You need to learn something, and that's what I'm gonna teach you in this video. So, at first, there is nothing tricky. You do the same procedure. You go to the developer hub and download the shirt template. Yeah, as always, you do the save image as, then you can choose any title. It's just that it's easy for you to find again because we're gonna save it and you wanna access it at any time. So yeah, it's the same procedure now, but now comes the tricky part. So now we need a better idea. Now we need better design concepts. Now comes the real strategy. We're not just gonna make green squares and so on and so on. No, that's not gonna look good. So if you just make a green plain square with an emoji and some letters, no, that's gonna be like a noob. Yeah, that's gonna be the basic shirt. Now we are here for better shirts. Now at first you can choose a background. You always need to choose a background for these shirts. So for Roblox shirts, you always need to choose something. And yeah, now you can do everything black because for now we're just gonna focus on the front. We're just gonna make it look more attractive to the user. Then we might innovate with the colors. But yeah, it's still gonna look way better. And now we need stuff like really attractive things. We need shapes or lines, geometrical shapes or lines. They look pretty attractive to the user. I don't know why, but it is so. So we're gonna make it as attractive as possible. So what you can do is just make something, make some lines, make a square. Squares are squares are pretty attractive, but circles are also pretty attractive to the user. They're all pretty trendy. They look pretty cool, and it also looks a bit like a high tech stuff. It also looks a bit modern, so the user is gonna be like, okay, yeah, it's pretty modern, so I'm gonna buy it, and yeah, that's what you can do. But we're just gonna fill it in with circles. That's gonna be a basic idea, and yeah, we're gonna do it maybe a little bit later. For now, we are gonna focus on the general design. So lines are known for how should I say that? They are known for the for their attractivity. They attract users. For example, Adidas uses them, in the on their shoes, for example, and yeah, it's pretty attractive. Now, the reason why I'm not making like straight lines is because lines are attractive, but straight lines aren't as attractive. So there is a point where lines become boring. If you just make straight lines all over the place, yeah, it's gonna become boring. So that's why I'm making them a bit. So I'm making them a bit diagonal. I'm not making them straight because making them straight will not look so good. It's gonna look boring. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a technique that's called mirroring. You probably heard of that. It's not only used in designing. So I'm just gonna make the same thing, but as if it's in a mirror. So it's gonna be the opposite direction. And now I'm gonna make the same with all the lines. That way it's gonna look a bit more attractive. It might even look three-dimensional, but it's not our goal. It's just gonna look attractive. And in the end it's gonna look generations better than the basic shirts that we've made. Alright, so now you need to be pretty careful and make sure that it pretty much hits the corners, that the corners look pretty good. There might, you can have some slight inaccuracies, but yeah, you just gotta try your best. You just gotta try your best because yeah, it's gonna look better if you try your best. So now you're just gonna copy it and paste it. It's always the same. Yeah. So I'm gonna come back when I've done that. Boom. There we go. Now it looks good, but there's still an element missing. And as you probably already noticed, it's the right side of the arm. No, I mean the not the arm, the torso. It's the right side of the torso. Now we're not gonna use the same here because using mirroring all the time, if you use a technique all the time, it's not gonna look so good. So you have to use multiple techniques in a shirt for the user to be like, okay, that's pretty interesting. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do straight lines. So it's gonna be kind of like a mixture. It's gonna be a mix of mirroring and of diagonal lines. And lines are pretty, they're pretty good. Lines are lines. They together they look more attractive. And yeah, again, we're gonna do the same with all of it, but here you gotta be really careful. So like here, you can see that it might not be as accurate, so you gotta be really careful with it. As I said, minor inaccuracies can always be present, so you don't have to be like precise on the pixel, but you should make sure that it's pretty precise. And yeah, it might take a while, and in the end, it's just gonna look better. In the end, it's just gonna look better. And I really hope that it isn't too complicated, but yeah, you'll see, it's gonna look way better than the hippo shirt that we did. Now, look, that is only the torso. And for me, if I'd see this in a catalog, I'd be like, yeah, alright, that's pretty interesting. But the main part are the arms. The main part is always the arms. The arms and the front. Because that is what the user is going to see in the catalog. The rest is going to be visible later. But that way you're going to be like, alright, listen, that is the most attractive part, and the user is going to be more interested in it. And I think what matters the the front side, because it is a very attractive thing. Of course, you can be a lazy boy and copy and paste everything like me. It just is it just is shorter. It doesn't take as long. And yeah, now we're done, but we can't just leave the arms black. Now, since we have used lines on the torso part, why don't we use lines on the arms? Because why stop with a design? Why stop with a design if you might even risk destroying the whole shirt if you switch to circles? Because switching to circles from lines, yeah, good luck. You need to be pretty experienced to make that look good. So yeah, for now, we're just gonna use some lines like that, and but first of all, you just need to save it. You just need to close it and give yourself a pat on the back. Congratulations. You have officially deserved a pat on the back, and I hope you brought yourself some water, and I hope you just chill a little bit, because that is pretty hard, to be honest. But now we're gonna be focusing on the actual beast. The actual beast is the arms. So we're gonna be trying to find a perfect match to this torso. So as a designer, you also gotta find perfect matches to um to the different parts of the body. Because if you make like everything abstract, so like triangles and squares and I don't know, circles, it's not gonna look good if you use lines on the torso. It is gonna look good if you use it as a general design, then you can use abstract things, but we're gonna talk about that later. So you can always use abstract things. Now the reason is why you probably have noticed, and so you have probably noticed that there is a small problemo, or maybe not. But each problemo can be fixed. Now the small problem is that sometimes the template gets a bit of a inaccurate and a bit of an inaccurate shape, and yeah, as you can see there, we need to fix it. So if you don't be careful, then you might encounter with these issues, but they are easily fixed. So what you can do is copy the square if you are again a hard working boy. Oops. Uh-oh. And yeah, but it isn't really recommended because come on, it doesn't look that good, and we still need to kind of like make it simple as possible, and as kind of like as epic as possible. So yeah, just make a new black square. Come on, don't be a baby, and just make a new black square. It's not gonna take that much. You just make it, and boom. So you gotta be careful, and you gotta watch. You gotta be careful that you're a little bit over the limits, because then it's gonna be then it's gonna practically save you. And yeah, basically that's it. If you find out that it is a little bit tilted, a little bit turned in the wrong direction, so it's kind of like a bit incorrect, then you just replace it. It takes a bit longer, but it will save you from many hate comments and all of these Karens that are like, I bought it and I'm so disappointed. Yeah, it'll save you from that. These Robux wasters. And yeah, you just gotta look a little bit on the size. You just gotta do it a little bit over the actual limits. Now you close it, you save it again, and now we're gonna be focusing on the lower arms. So, as you probably have already noticed, I have not filled out the lower parts of the arms. So the orange squares with a D. Now the reason why is because we're gonna be filling them out now, and not just filling them out. Yeah, you can always fix an issue, but yeah, we're not gonna be just filling them out. We're gonna be filling them with Roblox skin. So we're gonna make it look way realistic, way more realistic. We're gonna make it look way better than it was. And first, we're just gonna make some designing, some super smart designing. Now is the time to make the stripes. They're a little bit tilted, yeah, a little bit turned, because yeah, and I'll just keep the tradition. I don't really like straight lines. So yeah, we're gonna make a few of them. We're gonna make fewer than on the torso, but in the end, it's still gonna look pretty attractive. And yeah, I think that I think that 4 lines should be enough. But yeah, you can always add more. But I wouldn't recommend adding more lines than on the torso. I'd actually recommend adding less than on the torso because it's just gonna look kind of like more stylish. You're gonna see what I mean in the end, but yeah, like let's just take that little precaution. Yeah, and that should be fine. And as you learn, as you learn in this video, always try to go a bit over the limits. The limits of the template, of course. And yeah, let's just be really, really careful. You can also add a 5th line, but yeah, 6th line is not gonna look that good, so we're just gonna add it on the other arm because I think making it look symmetrical is gonna look cool. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that many lines. I think the maximum, although it also depends on how many lines you added on the torso, but yeah, I just wouldn't do so much. I think I am in this video. I wouldn't add more than 5 lines. All right. There. And now you can access it. Now we're gonna actually be focusing on the arms itself. As you probably have already noticed, I have left the D part, so the D square for the hands, for the arms. Yeah, for the hands, I have left them blank. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select a certain area and we're gonna do Command X. We're gonna do Command X to the area, and that way Roblox will know that yeah, all right, it is blank. As you can see, I left a little bit of black before the lines. That way it's just a bit decorative, so it's not just like blank and not blue lines. So yeah, I think that's pretty much a cool shirt. Now we're gonna close it. It's gonna save, and we're gonna open our browser. We're gonna go to roblox.com. Roblox.com. It's still loading a bit. And yeah, we're gonna go on to create. This is if you wanna upload it to your profile. You can also upload it in a group, but I don't think anyone has a group, so I don't think people have groups that often. So, oh no, it's loading.
2,000 years later.
Yeah, I decided to just show you the shirt because you probably know how to make it public and to set how to set the price. You should know it. If you don't know it, watch my older videos because there I list the basics. And if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like and subscribe. It would really support my channel. And yeah, bye. See you next time.